So over spring break, I decided to go on my very first solo trip. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while now. I saved up, and I finally fully embraced my adventurous side. I went to Portland, Oregon of all places. Why? Well, this is why.
I think I'm going through withdrawals, staring at a number I won't call. Yeah, and even though it's all your fault, you the one I run to by default.
It's a beautiful day, cleared up quite a bit, and it's actually not too cold.
It's on repeat inside my head, making me feel like a fool. Every sacrifice I made for you, yeah.
Alright, I made it to the rental car. It is absolutely pouring. We are in Hillsboro currently, Hillsboro, Oregon, which was about an hour and a half train ride from Portland International Airport. Definitely tiring following the hour and a half flight I had from San Jose at 6:40 this morning, but I'm here. I am somehow awake. I did have some coffee though. Nevertheless, we made it to the rental car. Was definitely out of the way, but worth it in my opinion. I wanted to get a car that was fun. That way the car would be part of the experience as well. This is a 2022 Subaru WRX, all-wheel drive, has a nice 6-speed manual, top-mount intercooler, twin-spool turbo, a giant infotainment screen with Apple CarPlay, a sunroof as well, all the bells and whistles. So since we're on the topic of this car, I decided why not show what it's like to drive it. So right now we are driving on a little bit of a back road here. Overall, it's smooth through all the gears. The steering is very direct. Oh, there's snow here too. That's cool. Let's do a downshift. Has auto rev match too, so I don't have to heel toe, because I am not the greatest at that. I love cars that have auto rev match. Third. Absolutely pulls. It's a WRX. What can you say? Sure wish they would make an STI in this generation. This car is very quiet, so unless you put an aftermarket exhaust on this, you'll have to be paying attention to your tach more as opposed to listening to your revs. But that's the only thing. Let me give you a listen. Overall, just a fun car to get around with, and yeah, will probably be a highlight of the trip. Anyways, I'm currently at a library. I am looking to get some homework done, and then I'm looking at going to downtown for lunch. And then afterwards, I will be heading over to my Airbnb, which is actually in Vancouver, Washington, just across the Columbia River. So not too bad if I'm wanting to just hop over to downtown. I do want to check out the downtown scene a little more. Nice. For lunch, I headed over to Northwest Portland to a small food truck park where one truck, called Bing Me, is well known for their Chinese-style crepes and fresh soy milk. The food truck scene in Portland is also pretty huge, so I had to check it out. I then headed over to downtown in search of the world's smallest official park, called Mill Ends Park. There it is. I wonder if I'll get weird looks.
Gucci gang, 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 Gucci gang. Red bear rats on the chain. I can't bob in the wetter rain.
Nah, I'm just messing. Nice. So in all honesty, being alone, talking to a camera, kind of intimidated me quite a bit. And unfortunately, I succumbed to that discomfort. Most of the food scenes here on out are short, awkward, and were shot on my phone because I just didn't want to be that guy in a restaurant with a full-on camera out. But it's something I want to work on because I kind of just want to stop giving up. I ate at Eam for dinner, a famous Thai fusion restaurant where I had a smoked burnt ends white curry, which was absolutely delicious. You also kind of have to go on a donut spree when in Portland, so I tried the Mango Tango donut from the famous Voodoo Donuts. Nice mango jelly filling with a delightful vanilla mango shell. Alright, day 2, Columbia River Gorge. It's a beautiful day. It's cleared up quite a bit and it's actually not too cold. Right now I am at a hatchery. I just wanted to check that out. Also, there's a nice view of some mountains here with a little bit of snow on them. We will quickly be heading over to I think around 5 waterfalls or so. I think that will mainly take up most of the day. I'll head back, get some dinner, and we'll go from there. I also had to make a quick run to Staples to print out a pass. It said it was a digital pass, but on fine print it said you needed to print it out and put it on your dash. So that was the fun adventures I had this morning, but otherwise, we're here. Oh yeah, before immersing myself into the waterfalls, I grabbed a quick cocktail and a French dip lunch from a lodge diner at the Gorge's most famous waterfall, Multnomah Falls. Nice. I found another food truck park on the way back to Portland, so I decided to stop for dinner. I found a truck called Svensken? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
Svensken.
Anyways, here I tried some elk sliders, one with lingonberry mayo. If it sounds familiar, you might have heard it from IKEA. It also has bacon and Swedish cheese. The second one had caramelized, don't at me with the caramelized mushrooms and onions with blue cheese and fried potatoes were on the side. I told myself for this trip, oh damn. Anyways, I told myself for this trip that I wanted to try some foods I've never had before, and this hit that category. Ice cream is also big in Portland, so I made my first ice cream stop at Kate's Ice Cream for dessert. I had pistachio ice cream. It was delicious and solely plant-based. For all my gluten-free friends out there. I started off day 3 at another donut shop, at the famous Blue Star Donuts chain, where I had a PB&J bar and a soothing chai, which, by the way, is also big in Portland. I then headed to the Oregon Zoo. This was probably the most uncomfortable portion of my trip that I forced myself to push through. In my head, I said, who the heck my age goes to the zoo by themselves, let alone walking around with a camera with a fuzzy thing on top? But I did it, and I'm glad I did. I headed a few minutes west to a joint called 808 Grinds. Now this was some good ass Hawaiian food. Show you braised and fried chicken, Kahlua pork, mac salad. What more could you ask for? I went back to Washington Park to experience the serene 5.5-acre Portland Japanese garden. It was a nice relaxing stop to get a break from the hustle and bustle of the morning, and there was something special about just being present there, taking in the sights and sounds. I wanted you to experience it too, so no music, just pure tranquility. Nice. Dinner! Okay, so I went back to downtown to splurge a bit on a Filipino-American fusion restaurant called Lechon, where I tried steak tartare and smoked bone marrow for the first time and was left amazed. Time for the next ice cream stop at 50 Licks. I had mango sticky rice ice cream along with Oregon Marionberry ice cream. Both were crazy good. Alright, day 4, sadly the last day, but we'll make sure it sends us off on a good note. Pip's famous donuts and chai for breakfast, the smoky chai paired with their famous made-to-order warm, simple topping donuts to start us off. Nice. This trip amazed me. All the sights, sounds, experiences, everything. I got to fill a couple of bucket list items such as seeing the Columbia River Gorge and trying steak tartare. Heck, the whole trip itself with me going solo was a bucket list item. I do have a weird bucket list item though that I got to check off as well. I wanted to hit at least one beach from every US coastal state, eventually sometime in my life. I'd never really been to Oregon before this trip, so there's just one more thing I had to do. Focus, focus, focus. Cool.